Hello scrapbookers, this is Megan and I am back today on the Crafty Maven Getaway with a Stash It Monday layout. So for this layout I actually decided to choose a sketch from my Pinterest sketchboard, and I will leave a photo of it at the end so you can see what it looks like. I have just been kind of having a hard time with my mojo, and I have found that sketches are really helpful for me right now. Okay, so this layout was kind of inspired by the patterns and the lines that you see in the inspiration piece. So there were all of those in the top right hand photo, there's a bunch of lines and pluses and different patterns, and the most dominant color in this inspiration piece was yellow, but I kind of went a different way and decided to just use the patterns as my inspiration. So I'm using a bunch of different patterns on this layout that I normally probably wouldn't mix all together. You can see in the background I have that wood grain, and then the three papers that I added on right underneath the photo are chevron, and it's like kind of a funky dot. I think that was from the Dear Lizzie documentary collection. And here I am going to do just a little bit of ink smudging. What is this called? Now I can't even think of what that technique is called. So I just used some shimmers, and now I'm just going to start putting everything down and getting it together on the layout. So I'm going to start with the photos first, and this sketch that I chose for this layout just worked perfectly with these photos because I had two tall photos that I wanted to use and then two long 4x6 photos that I wanted to use. So that just worked out perfect. So I'm gonna set them all together how I want them on the layout, just to make sure that they stay in the way that I want them to, because I kept kind of moving them around and forgetting where I had them. So I'm deciding to just glue them all together, and then I'm gonna start gluing everything else down. And at first I picked this background paper because I really liked that pre-designed background, but then I decided I wanted to bring in more patterns and do some more layering behind the photos in that corner. Now here I'm bringing in this lace doily, which kind of is another pattern and brings some more interest to the layout. And it does pretty much cover up all of those patterns down in that bottom corner, but that doesn't bother me at all. I still really like the look of it. Okay, so now here I'm going to start gluing down the photos, and I think, you know what, I did glue down the photos. I had turned my camera off for that part because my ATG gun decided to run out on me. So I glued all those down, and now I used some washi tape, and that is actually called shimmer tape, and it's from Close to My Heart, and it's one of my favorite kinds of tapes to use because it's glittery, but the glitter doesn't come off if you rub it, so it's really nice. I used a citrus twist, cute little sticker there, and that just says hashtag content to be me. And these photos are super old photos. These are Brennan when he was, let's see, this was December 2008. So he would be 2.5 at this time. And I just thought these were super cute photos, and I've been scrapping more recent photos, so I thought it would be fun to do some older photos. So here you can see I'm kind of messing around with some of these Felties hearts from Spiegelmom Scraps. There are these two kind of bigger hearts, and then this little banner of gray little hearts that I'm going to put down this side by that tag. And this layout actually came together pretty fast for me. usually, like lately, I've been taking like an hour to an hour and a half to do layouts, and this one only took me, I think it was like 40 minutes. So it was a lot of fun to actually get a layout down pretty quick. Okay, so now I am off in my little Spiegelmom Scraps drawer looking for some sequins, and there are these ones. They're actually from this past Christmas. They're called Holiday Traditions, and that was one of my favorite sets or sequin mixes that she came out with in December. I really liked them, so I got a couple different mixes of those to make sure that I would definitely have some for the future, because I really liked the colors and they matched perfectly with this layout. There's just greens and a little, like a lighter green and then a darker green and then kind of like a beige-ish color as well. So I'm just gonna put a bunch of those in each cluster here. So I'm doing that cluster in the bottom left hand corner, that one up there that I'm working on right now, and then there's another cluster that's just sequins, and it's that one right there that I'm working on right now. I didn't do a whole lot of embellishing on this page. I felt like with the photos taking up so much real estate on this layout that I didn't want to be overwhelmed by product on this page. So I decided to just have the focus be the photos and do little accents. Okay, so now here I'm writing out my journaling. I'm just talking about how Brennan gets so super messy when he eats spaghetti and how much he loves spaghetti. It used to be one of his favorite meals. I think it's still one of his favorite meals, but it's not his most favorite. It used to be his absolute favorite meal. Okay, so now I'm working on my title, and it just is going to be Messy Meal, and I'm going to kind of play around with the placement of this. At first I'm thinking I'm just going to put it above the heart, but then there's going to be like a little gap between the tag and the heart, and I didn't really like the way that looked. So I'm going to decide to kind of put it a little bit offset from each other. So the word messy is going to be over to the right more, and the word meal is going to be over to the left more, and it's going to be right above the tag. And I really like how that looks so much better. And you will see there is going to be some trapped space there to the right of the word meal, but I am going to kind of fix that here in a little bit with just a cute little Project Life card that I have in my stash. So most of these products have been in my stash for a while. A few of them, like the Spiegelmom Scraps doily and the felties and the sequins and the tag. Half of the things, I guess. I didn't realize I used so much Spiegelmom Scrap stuff. That stuff obviously I bought within the last year, but a lot of this other stuff is older than that, so that's kind of fun. Okay, so here I'm just trying to place this cute little card there, and I really like how that looks, just very simple and sweet. And then I also had this cute little camera, and it is a little, whoops, sorry about that, a little metal clip and paper clip, I guess you call it. And so I was thinking I was going to use this Scotch dry adhesive tacky glue to glue it down, and it stayed, but at the same time it didn't, so I kind of had to hold on to it for a while. But it ends up staying and looking pretty cute. So that is the end of my layout. This is the sketch that I chose from Pinterest, and here are some close-up photos. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope that you guys have a great scrappy week. Bye!